Never let anybody see you sweat. So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener. I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw. Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with the show.
Mariah Delgado claims she paid the defendant to hold her place in line for an exclusive sneaker drop, but he sold her spot to someone else. Watkins says the line started moving before the plaintiff showed up to take his place.
Okay, Mariah Delgado, you're suing Watkins for $250 that you feel he owes you and won't pay. Tell me what happened.
I paid him a $100 deposit to wait in line for me for 8 hours, and he took my deposit and then he flipped my spot for a profit of $300. So I think I'm entitled to half of that.
Wait. This is a thing? People waiting in line?
Yeah.
Getting paid to wait in line.
I didn't
What was
know.
he waiting in line for?
He was waiting in line for like an exclusive sneaker drop between a client that I used to represent. They have a sneaker collaboration that was coming out. I'm an influencer, so
What's an influencer?
So I'm an influencer on social media. I do lives where
How many followers do you have?
I have 50,000 followers. So I asked my followers if they wanted me to review this sneaker and that I would do a giveaway for this sneaker if they wanted me to do it. I had 5 million views on that video and in that live. So I was really excited about doing the giveaway, but I had to wait from like 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., which is way too long for me to be waiting.
Not when you could find. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah,
All right,
so that's
not
why
when
I
you
paid
could find
$40.
somebody to do it for you for how much? How much was the agreement between the two of you?
$200. So he was like, oh, you pay the $100 up front as a deposit for the actual waiting in line part, and then you pay the other $100 when you arrive. So I paid him $100.
So wait, I have so many questions. All right, so have you used him before?
No, actually, I met him through a friend of mine who's also an influencer. She had paid him to wait in line for an exclusive
Have you been in this
store.
line of work long? This line waiting line of work?
Yeah, we're established. It's legitimate. Our business is
No,
called...
it's totally legitimate. Is there money in it?
That's
like, is it a-
debatable.
Yeah. It's a lot of money in it. We do the jobs that people aren't willing to do. It's money in
Right.
there.
Well, I find that to usually be the case. But anyway, so you go at what time of the middle of the night to stand in line?
Around 11. So it was
11 at night
Yeah.
to wait for a drop that was happening the next day?
Yeah.
What time was she supposed to show up?
She was supposed to be there at 6:30 a.m. That's when we were supposed to switch spots.
And did she get there at 6:30?
No, she didn't, Your Honor. She
All
did
right.
not.
I presume you have a cell phone.
Yeah, I do.
And did she text you and say, I'm going to be late?
Well, no. I actually texted her because the line, something happened. Usually these things happen in line where rules come up. And
Those pesky things, rules.
I had a
okay.
wristband, and they were saying you can't swap wristbands. And they're starting letting people in at 6:30. So, and that's the time I'm supposed to swap. So in that situation, like knowing my client is an influencer, I just wanted to give a little bit of grace. So I waited about 20 minutes. I gave 20 minutes of time, and I had someone else begging me for my spot for $300.
How'd they know you were a line waiter? Like, how do they know you're not there for yourself?
They didn't. They were running up and down the line.
Just shouting, anybody want to sell their spot?
Exactly. And I just, I've been abandoned multiple times in line before, and
Where all of a sudden then you're out $100 on your fee because they don't pay you.
exactly.
So she's supposed to be there at 6:30, and what time did she get there?
6:55, around 7, closer to 7, I'm gonna be honest. And
Okay. Is it accurate that you weren't there at 6:30?
Well, we said around 6:30, and the doors didn't open till 7. I'm not really in the sneaker community, so I don't really know how all of that stuff works. I just thought that the doors open at 7, so I thought as long as I was there before 7, that was fine.
But what time did you tell him you'd be there?
Around 6:30.
Okay. Did she say around 6:30 or at 6:30?
She said, I agreed at 6:30. I have evidence, Your Honor, if you look at Exhibit B. Our text thread, it clearly shows that that's the time that we agreed on.
So
And
I see that on July 5th, there's text between you. Okay, I'm going to get in line tonight at 10 for the 7 a.m. tomorrow drop. I'll keep you posted. Perfect, thank you. They just let us know the line is going to begin moving at 6:30 a.m. So you need to be here then so we can swap places. That's at 5 a.m. And she answers, great, I'll be there. So what happened?
Your Honor, I was getting my makeup done before the event, and my makeup artist was running late, so I told her it would be fine as long as I was there before 7.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
So how am I supposed to know that there's wristbands, there's scanning? I'm just thinking he's in line. I didn't know that he was.
Well, if you're
5
half an
people
hour
in
late,
line.
and the line is moving, what is he supposed to do?
And later,
What is she doing wrong? Is she not allowed to have a compost there? Is that against the regulations in your community or something?
I mean, it's not against anything, it's just causing the death of animals.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Mariah Delgado, who is suing Corey Watkins for conversion.
Did you say any of that to him at 5 in the morning when the rules were changing? And
Well, he didn't say the rules were changing.
no, he did. He said they just let us know at 5 in the morning. He texts you and says they just let us know the line is going to begin moving at 6:30. So you need to be here then so we can swap places. Great, I'll be there. Is your answer right?
Right, but
Okay. And so at 6:30 on the dot, he says the line is moving. Where are you? They've got these new rules. If you aren't here, they may not let you in. To which you respond, almost there. And then at 6:51, he says, sorry, I tried. And then you say, WTF. Okay. So what time did you get there?
I got there at 6:54.
Somebody was running up and down trying to get a spot. That somebody offered you how much?
they offered me $300.
So right now you got her 100 and they're 300.
Right.
So you made 400.
Exactly.
She wants her $100 back because she doesn't think you should have sold your spot. And then on top of that, she wants half of your bounty on the selling of the spot.
And that, to me, just doesn't make any sense because I waited. I spent the time out there in the cold with the crazy people, agitation, people asking me questions.
You still turned a profit.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Me standing in that line, I already put the time in.
Right,
So
but
that
the
100
time in, and if she had done everything right, you should be getting $200.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So-
but instead of that, you got $400.
I tried. I gave some grace. I did. I gave grace. Usually.
He did give grace. He gave you a 20-minute window, and you still weren't there. And you're saying things like, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Instead of, listen, I'm not going to get there till 7.
But listen, in Exhibit A, you can see, Your Honor, that the deposit is for a spot hold, not a spot sold.
Yes, I've got it. Okay? However, I can also see, based on your text, that you're supposed to be there at 6:30, and you know it. You know it. You know that at 5 o'clock.
I didn't
So
know.
your makeup artist is late, and God forbid the makeup not be perfect. So you want to wait for your makeup artist, but perhaps you should have had the makeup artist meet you in the line if that was going to put you half an hour late. You want me to find that he breached. The only way you get a penny back is if he breached. You understand that, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah, not even the first 100. For you to get it back, he has to have breached the contract. So tell me what he did to breach the contract when he gave you 20 minutes after the time you're supposed to be there, and you're still not there, and you're not honest about it and saying, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there at 7. You're still saying, almost there, almost there. And he's got like a window of what to sell it before he ends up eating $100 because you don't show up there, and you might not pay him the other 100 because he can't give you his wristband. When she hired you, what time did she say she'd be there?
She said she'd be there. She said she would be there 7. like 6:37-ish. That's where we were playing.
So when she says ish, she was right.
Yeah.
That's what you. And then you text her at 5 and you tell her, hey, the rules of the game have changed. These people have changed the rules. They're starting to move the line at 6:30. And it's not that she misses that notice. She catches that notice and says, okay, great, I'll be there.
And if you check out Exhibit B, that's them letting me know about the change. I did my due diligence. I made sure that I studied the company, what they were doing, how they execute their rules. They sent me this text message to let me know. And
So the company's saying, good morning, thank you so much for your dedication. We know you're excited about the drop. To keep things orderly and efficient, the line will begin moving at 6:30 a.m. So as soon as you got that, you texted her to tell her, and she says, I'll be there. And then she's not there. She's there 20 minutes after that.
And honestly, if she was super...
And furthermore, the notice says, have your wristband ready to scan. After wristbands are scanned, they are non-transferable. You cannot give your wristband or your spot in line to anyone else.
So how am I supposed to know that there's wristbands, they're scanning? I'm just thinking he's in line. I didn't know that he was.
Well, if you're
5
half an
people
hour
in
late,
line.
and the line is moving, what is he supposed to do?
I don't know, like stall, talk to the people, say, hey, I'm actually holding I don't know that you can't like switch spots with people and stuff like that. I just wanted him to wait in line for me.
His exact phrase to you was, they just let us know the line is going to begin moving at 6.
That was an hour and a half.
I'm sorry, did I breathe and give you the impression I was done?
I'm sorry.
They just let us know the line is going to begin moving at 6:30 a.m. So you need to be here then so we can swap places. Great, I'll be there. And then at 6:30, the line is moving. Where are you? They've got these new rules. If you aren't here, they may not let you in. To which you respond not, I'll be there in half an hour, my makeup artist was late. To which you respond instead, almost there. Then he waits. This is the grace. He waits until 21 minutes later. And at some point, he's got to mitigate his own damages because you're not showing up when you said you would at 5. You said you'd show up there at 6:30. You're not showing up almost there at 6:30. You say almost there, but a full other 20 minutes pass. You know, he's giving you notice on it, and you're like, it's not going to be a problem. I'm going to be there at 6:30, and then you don't. You know? No. I find in favor of the defendant in this case.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
I'm standing on business.
Yeah, SOB for sure.
Coming up,
First of all, when they first got there, about the trash cans and how to use a bungee cord. And then a couple months ago, I talked to her about the composting and how it was drawing in all those animals.
And what did she say when you told her that?
She didn't even really listen to me. She didn't care.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. Diana Rogers claims her neighbor's composting attracted raccoons that killed her cat. Heather Ruiz says the composting is legal and the plaintiff should keep her cat indoors if the raccoons pose a danger.
Okay, Miss Rogers, you are suing your neighbor, Ms. Ruiz, for $6,707 in emotional distress at her hands. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, ma'am. This person right here is responsible for the death of my cat, Nellie.
So what happened?
Well, she moved in about a year ago, and it was just downhill from there. Loud music, they didn't know how to cover their trash cans up, and it started attracting all these animals. And then to make matters worse, Your Honor, they added a garden, and she did a compost. So now there's just all kinds of food there attracting even more wildlife. It's worse than ever.
What is she doing wrong? Is she not allowed to have a compost there? Is that against the regulations in your community or something?
I mean, it's not against anything. It's just causing the death of animals.
Tell me what happened with your cat.
So my cat used to be able to go out for 20 or 30 minutes at a time when I'd get home from work and come right back. And this particular night, I had stepped out about 8 o'clock to pick up a package, and the cat snuck out, and like usual, I thought, well, she'll just need 20 or 30 minutes. And I called her, nothing, and then I fell off, took a nap, and I woke up to screaming and yowling, the worst sound I have ever heard. And it was my cat, Nellie, out in the yard. She had been attacked by raccoons.
Had you ever called the city to discuss the situation?
No, I didn't call the city. I thought if I had conversations with my neighbor, you know, she'd do the right
So
thing.
what kind of conversations did you have with her? You can't garden? You can't compost? What did you say to her?
I asked her, first of all, when they first got there, about the trash cans and how to use a bungee cord. And then a couple months ago, I talked to her about the composting and how it was drawing in all those animals.
And what did she say when you told her that?
She didn't even really listen to me. She didn't care.
Coming up,
She claims that your composting and your garden is attracting more raccoons.
There's no crime in doing a garden.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Diana Rogers, who blames Heather Ruiz for the death of her cat.
Ms. Ruiz, let me hear from you.
Since the start, since I moved to that neighborhood, she's been on me the whole time. No neighbors have ever complained to me except her. But when she told us about the one or twice that I forgot to close the trash cans, she was passive aggressive when she was trying to tell me. She wasn't communicating.
Well, did you know that you have to do that in this particular area, or was that new to you? I'm just curious.
That was new to me.
Okay.
We live literally, there's a lot of, in the foothills, we live a lot with trees and everything. So even since like the year that I moved in, I've always seen raccoons. Raccoons, a lot of wildlife going around our houses.
She claims that your composting and your garden is attracting more raccoons.
Mm-hmm. There's no crime in doing a garden. It's
Okay.
something that I've been excited to do my whole life, and I wanted to learn how to do it, and I'm gonna keep doing it because it's something for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm just on my own.
I think she's referring to the composting, which there is also no crime composting. So, Ms. Rogers, if you know that whatever she's doing, if you sense that whatever she's doing is drawing more raccoons out, why continue to let your cat be an outdoor cat?
I just wanted her to have the life she always had. I didn't want anything to change for her.
Judge Milian's verdict when Justice for the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian.
I just don't see what Ms. Ruiz was doing that could cause her to be financially liable to you if the things she is doing are things that she as a property owner has the right to do. She has the right to garden on her property. She has the right to compost on her property. When you have, I mean, there are some real strict rules. If somebody's deliberately feeding the wildlife, like feeding wildlife, that's a violation, and you get the Fish and Wildlife people involved in California and in most states. But that's not what was happening. What was happening is, according to you, an increase in the presence of raccoons based on her gardening and composting. But gardening and composting are allowed. So, no, I'm not going to find her liable. I'm sorry for your loss, but she's not going to be, it's not her fault, and I'm not going to order her to pay you for it. That's my verdict.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
I'm sorry for your cat, but I'm sorry, and I know what it is to feel like that, but I promise it's not my fault.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.